boy. That feels a little bit better. The middle of the day, and I'm going to mix it up a little bit. We've got a beautiful running tide, clean ocean water pushing into the Mallacoota estuary system. I'm going to pump some bait and we'll see if we can find ourselves a bream or a whiting or trevally. I love doing this stuff. It's just good, fun, easy fishing, and the rewards can often be pretty awesome. All right, bait pump. Sieve, tub, bait, chuck that in, jump out quickly before they drift off in the tide and the wind. Let's go. As all we're doing is pumping all these little holes. You'll have ones that are just holes on their own. You'll have ones with mounds on them. Hopefully there's a bunch of yabbies here and you can go straight in, but I like to sort of go in on a bit of an angle, because if you've got a bunch of holes, you'll be sucking from a broader area. If you go in at a bit more of an angle, sometimes you've got to do a couple of pumps. There's one. There we go. Oh, where did he go? There we go. One-armed bandit, not a real big one, but the fish like them. And I've got the sieve, but we're in this nice shallow water and there's tide running over it, so it blows the sand away and you end up with your bait. There we go. Another one. Oh. Whiting bait. Worm. Tiny yabby. He's a bit small, I think. What I do when they're little, I just drop them back in a hole. The soldier crab. They're not overly big yabbies, but anyway, I don't think the fish will care. You've got your sand holes all over the flat, and as you can see here, we've got a bunch of holes. They could be soft shell, worm, and all that sort of stuff. When you get that moundy sort of one, like these guys here, they're probably a little bit more oftentimes like yabbies, or nippers, but either way, we've got a bunch of holes here, so I'll give this a quick bash and see if anything turns up. There you go, there's a yabby straight away. And sometimes, depending on the tide or what's going on, sometimes we get them all in that first pump, other times they can be deeper. Obviously, when the tide's low and you're up on a big dry sandbank, yabbies will generally be down deeper where it's wetter and sort of more at the water level. So that guy, little tiny one, get himself back down into another hole. It's a better one. One and two. And that's where, if you've got not a lot of tide or you've got water depth, that's where the sieve's good, because by the time that all the water clears up, some of your yabbies have already gone down another hole. All right, we have enough bait for a session. That's the great thing about a sand flat. You know, you don't need to take everything. I've got more than enough yabbies here for a quick bait fishing session. And yes, it looks like a lot, but you do go through them. But there's probably 50 there. So, you know, the equivalent of probably a packet of little prawns. That's all we need for now. And I have seen some very, very big whiting just swimming around in this little gutter. Just, you see this silver flash. So now I'm torn. Do I fish with bait or do I put on a lure called a sugar pen? or a splash pen, and we fish top water for whiting. Like top water whiting is so much fun. Like you walk in water this deep or in the boat and you just, but let's do some bait first. All right, getting back in the boat, and we need to work out where we're gonna fish. But you know what? I've seen some fish cruising. There's a fish right there, just a whiting, just flashed. Let's start here. Don't leave fish to find fish. All right, I'm just keeping the bait in the shade because it's hot and it's sunny. So I'll just get a yabby, pick him out, and this guy's the male with the big claw, and I usually just snap that off because when they bite, they hurt. Look at that. So a bit of burley in the water, grab our yabby, little hook, eat him in. So, and I'll try and feed it all the way down till we get to about where his legs are. Pop that out gently through there. And then that's your bait. See, he stays nice and straight. He still crawls around. And hopefully, a bream or a whiting think that that looks pretty good. Doesn't have to be a big cast. Right, roll this one out to the side and let him sort of sweep down with the tide. Get a bite. What have we got? Could be a bream, could be a trevally, could be a flathead. What we got? Love this fast water, clean water bream and whiting stuff. So much fun. Oh, he's only a little fish. You get a big bream in this stuff, they go so hard. Go. Just a little guy. Slip him off, put a new hook on. There's a bite. That feels a little bit better. I think this is a better bream. They just use the tide to their advantage. The trick here is to fish light. You know, you've got open water, sand, fish a light leader, light line, and you'll catch more fish. The water's so clear that they can see everything and they will spook. What do we got? Oh, it's a trevally. That's why I had a bit of a go. There we go. These guys love this stuff. They love this fast water. There we go, good old silver trevally. You can grab him by the bottom jaw. Watch those little spikes there. There we go, little silver trevally. He's off. I don't know what this is. Could it be another bream? No, we need to get out of here, I think. No size, plenty of fish, lots of fun. And if you're on holidays at Christmas, this is so much fun. Get a bait pump, pump some bait, bring the kids, or don't bring the kids, whatever. And if you stood here on the edge of anything like this and cast out here, you're going to catch some fish. So light line is the key and you'll have a ball. The best thing about this, I can honestly say Yes, I've fished Mallacoota plenty with lures and I've done all that, but I've never come down and done this fast water or tidal sort of clean water bait fishing here. But I just work on the theory of the same in other estuary systems that I've fished, that it should work. But it's just nice when your theory works. A little bit better. There we go. A little bit better. Yellowfin bream, although he's very light in colour because he's living down here on this stuff. But yellowfin, because that yellow spike, yellow tinges on his pectoral fins. Great fish. They get a lot bigger than that. I'll send you back, bud. So while I'm fishing here, I'm also thinking about what my next move might be. And I suppose in fishing, one of the hardest things is, if you don't know, is finding what to look for, because there's good spots and bad spots and so on. But why I came here is quite simply because as I came down this bank, I saw this little piece here. So the tide's running out and there's this sandbank here that you can see, and there's that little darker patch. So the water's coming off that bank and then it's spilling down through this section here. So in theory, fish on that edge will come down, they'll run down this and out into here. My next move that I'm thinking of is over to that side against the dunes. It's a bit deeper, but there's a sweep right there. It actually bends a bit. You can't really see it from here, but as that tide runs down, it will push harder on that edge, and the fish by rights should be running right up and down along the edge there. So shallows, bit of a gutter running out over there. That's a bit of a pressure point where that current sweeps around. Great thing about sharp hooks, you don't even need to strike. What is this? Maybe it's a trevally. It's trying to get in under the boat. Yeah, it's a trevally. Trevally love the fast, clean water. It's a classic trevally trait. Lay on their side and do circles. And when they're on their side, they're harder to lift. Doesn't matter if it's a silver trevally or a giant trevally. They all sort of have the same trait. Nice little silver. I'll be back. I'm not running a lot of drag here, just got that light leader. Oh, he's a bit better. He's a little bit better. There you go. It's a nice little bream, that one. I've still got one on the other rod. That big hard mouth. And these guys are just ripping up and down this channel, feeding on prawns and crabs and yabbies and everything. They're really, really good predators. The yellowfin bream, fast moving when they want to be. Like when you're lure fishing for yellowfin, you'll often fish the lures much faster than you would for black bream. This is a tiny one. That one was a bit better. That one's not. Quick run through on the gear I'm using. It is my whiting outfits that I use back home for King George whiting. Maikuro 2 7'6" whiting. It's not a nibble tip, it's just very, very soft in the tip. And it's great for this bait fishing because it just loads up on the bite, just like it does when we're whiting fishing back home. Nasci 2500. I've got 8-pound Daiwa J braid on this, and the leader is just 6-pound Yamato. This stuff is really good. It's really thin, does the job beautifully. Very popular with lure fishermen, but I'm just using it as my bait fishing leader. Please be better. Please be the one I'm after. Just another little bream. Ah, nah, that is, well, it's a bream, but this is a tar one. So what makes this guy different, really rounded head here, but see how he's got stripes? He's got the yellow fins like a yellowfin bream, but as I said, he's got those stripes. Catch a lot of these on the surf, And these are all really clean water sort of fish. So surf, river mouths or estuary mouths, just like this. They get bigger than that. But, oh, yeah, cool. There's a lot of people out there who fish for these fish who'll know what this fish is by that rod tip going bang, bang. This is a ludric. I can see him out the back, quite silvery in colour, but big vertical stripes. And traditionally, you know, you think of a ludric for eating cabbage weed and green weed, use a float to catch them. But in the estuaries, when they get in here, they do eat prawns and bass yabbies and stuff like that. They eat lures as well at times, but got this very distinct sort of fight. They'll roll around and then they go whack with their head. They're good fun to catch. So you can see him out there, he's got the stripes on him. Work him up. It's funny, it was a different sort of bite too. Well, it certainly wasn't like a brim bite. Come on, up you come. But yeah, these are great fish, very solid. They traditionally live around the ocean rocks in the swell and the surge, and eating the weed off the rocks. Really powerful tail, thick through this back end, and they're very closely related to the black drummer. He has scoffed that hook, so I'll just chop him off. They've got these funny sort of teeth and mouth. I'll show you very quickly. So they have this sort of square mouth, right? But he's got these teeth that are made for ripping weed off the rocks. So sort of like really raspy, sandpapery sort of teeth. You've got to watch, they've got a few spikes, their gill rakers are sharp, but let's send that guy back. He's cool. Well, this has been a bit of fun. I haven't plucked the big bream, but no shortage of fish and mixed species and a lot of fun, and more so just putting your theory into practice, you know, working off what I've done in other estuary systems. And it just worked the same here. Get the good bait, whether it's yabbies or worms or prawns, whatever. Get the good bait, fish those key little bits. I'm casting back to this little point here where the tide's running off at the moment. And, you know, if all goes well, you end up with this. That's not a bad bream. We're just about at the bottom of the tide. So, there's no monster, but anyway, nice little fish. I'll send him back. I'll pack my stuff up and head back because I am just about out of bass yabbies.